Good afternoon and welcome. This is a new show, and hello to Bernadette and Chris and Jamie Ann. Yes, this is a surprise. Well, here we are. This is the lovely June, and this is me. You already know me, but now you know June as well. So say
Hello,
hello,
everyone.
June. Here we go. So we're going to talk about various matters. June loves Brexit. She loves Boris.
I love
And
Boris.
as we know, I don't. So we're going to have a little differing opinion on that. But we both love monarchy, murder, and mayhem, and we like talking about true crime and things like that. And we're getting all these people coming in. Kaz and Donna and Catherine and Carl and Lainey and somebody's name, Jamie Jammy, and there we go, Jenna. So hello to you all, and we hope you can cope with our chitter chatter and conversation. So we're going to talk. Good morning from Toronto, and we have Mario in the background who will be monitoring you all, and Mario will helpfully deal with any kind of troublemakers. We don't expect or anticipate troublemakers, but there we go. So perhaps, June, you could introduce yourself and talk about your views on Boris and Brexit.
Well, I love Boris. They should never got rid of Boris. They stabbed him in the back. And I believe in Brexit. I believe this country should stand on its own without all these people telling us what to do. Bring back Boris, that's what I say.
And do you think it's going to be possible to bring back Boris?
No, unfortunately. Because
what do you think is going to happen to Boris?
Well, I think he's got too many knives in the back.
But what do you think will happen to Boris next?
Well, I think he's earning more money as he's doing now. But I do think...
But do you think Boris is money motivated?
No,
or do you think Boris cares about the nation?
I do think that Boris will be back.
You think Boris could be Prime Minister again?
No, not exactly Prime Minister, but I do think he will be back.
But what do you think Boris will actually do?
Look after the country. That's what he should have been doing.
But in what way will he look after the country?
He'll stand up for this country. They should have let him do it.
But in what sort of way? What is he going to actually do? Is he going to take on a new position? Is he going to write a book? Is he going to have a TV show? Or is he going to add to his Daily Mail column?
No, I think he should be Prime Minister.
You think he should be Prime Minister again?
Mm.
So
if he gets all the right people behind him, what he should have done.
But since he's no longer an MP, he cannot.
No, but he's a clever enough man to build himself back up again. And I think there's more going in the background that we know.
And where do you think he will next? When do you think he will next emerge?
My personal opinion is that we voted him in. We didn't vote this guy in who's in charge now.
But that's how the political system works.
I know, but it does not work.
The leader of a party emerges, and if the leader of the winning party.
But why would we want this week who's in now?
Well, to me, he's like the modern day John Major.
I know, yeah, and I never liked John Major anyway.
He's simply a caretaker leader.
Yeah,
and he's sitting there and waiting whilst
Keir
Starmer, who should be ruling the roost and should be doing a lot more, is
who would in their right mind vote for Keir Starmer?
Well, they're voting against the Conservative government.
I know, yeah.
So there we are.
But why would we want a Labour government in charge? You think the last time they left office, they left a note saying, sorry, there's no money left.
Well, Rishi Sunak is going to leave a note also saying there's no money
left. It's only because this country has got to spend more money on silly things, what they shouldn't. I mean, I'm not racist, but all these immigration coming in, he said that he was going to stop all this. But you think about the other day, there's 842 people come across that channel.
Well, those people are desperate, you could argue.
Yeah.
But where can they go?
Yeah, but there's a lot of desperate people in this country.
Well, that is true also, but... You know, what do we do for our homeless in this country?
I think
this is where we prove we can agree with one another. The homeless of this country should be our priority. The veterans of this country should be our priority.
Yeah, exactly.
But we should never ignore our neighbour. You know, if the people are in desperate need, I don't think you should.
But I personally think half of the people that are coming over this country now are not in desperate needs. that half of them are men. So why, if they're worried about their own country, why don't they stay in their own country and sort it out?
Because they want to have better opportunities for their families, and they bring their families here thinking. We have noise in the background, which is very naughty of the person in the
Yeah,
background.
but I'm a great believer charity begins at home.
Well, charity should begin at home,
Yeah.
but we should never ignore people in peril. You know,
Yeah,
your neighbour is your friend.
Yeah, the genuine
And
ones.
why would we want to alienate our neighbours in Europe who have been good friends to us by all the silly things we've done? And then most of the people complaining about Brexit when I go through airports are the very people who voted for it. And they sit there and they scream and yell that it's not fair that they can't go to their home in Spain for more than 90 days a year. And they don't understand that they caused this to happen. And, you know, why did we want to pull out of this? We're going back into the science-related agreement as a result now. We've realised the error of our ways in that regard. So how do you feel about that, June?
Well, I believe that I read an article in the Daily Mail the other day with 52 billion that we're saving not being belonging to the European.
Well, but we are spending more on many other things.
Yeah, like immigration. You think how many people?
But we've created problems that we didn't need to create.
Exactly. Who opened the doors to all this immigration? It's Tony Blair.
Well, I think what we need to do is we should have actually never have left the European Union. We should have led the reform of the European Union and changed it from within. By being on the sidelines of it, all we've created is problems at our borders.
Well, no, I think this country always did all right on its own. I mean, I wasn't born. The World War, we stood on our own for 2 or 3 years. Nobody didn't want to know us then. But now the French, we pay all that money to the French and we're letting all people come in. What the French do with all this money we're paying for them?
Well, we're not paying the French, we're paying the European Union.
Yeah, I know. But what are they doing? They're saying, oh, well, let them go here. Soft country.
Well, there is the thing called the Convention on Human Rights.
I know.
And one should never reject people who are in need, in my view.
But you talk about, look at Australia. They don't let people in like that.
Well, the problem is, so for example, farmers in this country, they cannot get workers because English people are so lazy. English people will not work.
I agree with that. But then
the Polish people can't come here. The local schools here, language schools, most of those students come from Europe to learn English. They're now going to Ireland because the paperwork is too complicated. So the schools here are losing out. They're losing out on business because we have created a border that we did not need to create and an aggressive pact against the world, which we didn't need to have.
But why do they like the immigration working here? Because they give them cheap pays.
But farmers cannot get people to pick the fruit, so the fruit rots in the fields.
Yeah, because again, you're going back to the same old problem in this country. They're better off on the system, aren't they?
Well, we created a place where people could work.
Yeah.
But we also have English people who are too bone idle and lazy to work.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They will not work in a restaurant. So if you go to a restaurant, do you ever see English people working in restaurants?
But that's going back to the system, isn't it? That's going back to the benefit system.
But that's the system of England.
Yeah.
And we have,
which is not right.
But these lovely people come from elsewhere and they contribute to our economy and they
I agree with that.
So but we actually agree.
But when I was a teenager, you was offered 3 jobs. If you didn't take those 3 jobs, you won't get any benefits. But that's not like it is today. And that's how it should be.
Well, that's maybe how the future should perhaps work. But, we have to be tougher on certain things.
Exactly.
So what do you feel about the Bibby barge? The barge in Dorset, where they were going to house all these people?
I think that's where they should be. Because they're saying they come over here for a better life. That must be better than what they got in their own country.
But this boat is proven to be a disaster area.
Don't believe it.
It doesn't work. It's got Legionnaire's disease on it. They had to take them off.
I don't believe that.
It's been the man who brought it in, who owns the port, he was the leading Brexiteer. He wanted to ban immigrants, and now he's making £4,000 a day from having this barge parked in his harbour. So he's a selfish, self-interested
I agree with that.
person.
Yeah,
and
but whatever
it seems that Rishi Sunak is all about friends.
Yeah, but whatever
Michelle Mone, what do you think of Michelle?
Whatever we got in this country, what we offer them, it's got to be better than what they have in their own country.
Yeah. What do you think of Michelle Mone?
Well,
profiteering.
Yeah.
And this government has been guided by profiteering.
Yeah.
And it is utterly shameful, in my view, that the likes of Michelle Mone and her husband, Douglas Barrowman, have been able to live in their little tax haven, the Isle of Man, and get £232 million, which they profiteer to the tune of 25 million or whatever it is. But
that's the way of life, isn't it? You're always going to get that, whatever.
Yes, but we shouldn't excuse this.
No, I know.
We should do better.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The nation needs to do better. So, you see, we can talk about Brexit in a way that is different to other people. We don't agree.
Exactly,
I think Brexit should be reversed. I say exit Brexit.
See,
I want to go back to the European Union. June has her own different view.
I think it was a vote. People voted to come out, and that's what we should accept.
Yes, but the vote was so close that it
doesn't matter.
It was a divided nation.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was still a vote.
The campaign for leave was run by a bunch of liars who put a bus out there that said we'll get 450.
You could say that about any vote, then, couldn't you?
Well, but I don't think we should have had the vote in the first place.
No,
I think the vote was a waste.
It was a democratic vote, but as I say now, if you had to vote now, who would you vote for?
Who would I vote for? I would vote against Brexit again, of course.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the government. Who would you vote for?
At the moment, I will vote I'm eligible to vote in 2 different places because I'm registered in 2 different places. I will use my vote most usefully to get rid of the Conservative in whichever place is most useful to my vote. Now, I can actually vote in one place where...
Who would you vote where you are now, though?
Well, I've got 2 vote. I've got 2 potential places to vote. So which is perfectly legal. You can only vote in one of them.
Yeah.
I don't urge anyone to vote more than once. But if I vote in Kensington, I can vote to get rid of an MP, Felicity Buchan, who is an utterly shameful waste of space, who has done nothing and doesn't even reply to my letters. She has a majority of less than 20 votes. But the vote is going to be split there because the Labour Party have chucked out the Labour Party's candidate. The candidate is was a lady called Emma Dent Coad, who was the Labour MP. She got in by a fluke because everyone hated the other MP. As my dad always said, if you put a pig with a blue rosette in Kensington, it should win. But it didn't. And Kensington is actually a constituency that is complicated because it has North Kensington, which has the Grenfell Tower and poverty as much as it has the wealthy southern parts of the area.
See, I personally don't know nothing about London. So I was born and bred in Ramsgate, and that's all I know.
And here we have an MP called Craig McKinley.
Exactly.
This man, McKinley, has never been seen. Mr. McKinley, if you're watching this, and we hope you are, and we hope you get to see this, you are useless. You are as much use as a chocolate teapot. You may as well not turn up because you don't even come and visit the local hostelries. This is utterly shameful and wrong that you are of no use to the local community. And you go on about fracking. There is no fracking in this community because it's not possible to do it here. It's an urbanized area, most of it. So you go on about wind turbines because you think you're going to be popular. The drinks monitor is forgetting me. He's very naughty, the drinks monitor. His name is Max, and he's utterly wonderful, but he got me drunk once before. But we like a drink on our program, and we're going to be hopefully sponsored by a gin brand at some point. June and I love a bit of alcohol, and we love tea in the afternoon, which means gin.
That's it, yeah.
So there we go. So we say cheers. Cheers to all our 156 of you watching live right now already, which
is good for the afternoon.
Mr. Mario rightly points out that Craig is the only fracker. Yes, well, I think we could substitute letters in the.
That's
Now, Mr. McKinley, if you're watching this, because we are going to be doing this regularly, and we are going to regularly call you out, Mr. McKinley. You have been a useless constituency MP. You don't look after your constituents. You don't do any work. Yeah, I don't believe you even live in the constituency.
Does he know where it is?
Does he know where it is?
Yeah.
You spoke in Parliament yesterday, and you said you were confused. Well, you're definitely confused to where we live, because we've never seen you.
Yeah.
We want to see you. Turn up, show up, man up, and grow up.
Yeah.
We need to see our MP.
Yeah.
And as for the lady who's the Labour Party candidate, I'm going to say this now. June will have her view. I don't support Labour.
No.
I'm not interested in Labour. I don't like Keir Starmer. I think he's a huge disappointment. Starmer. When I watched a program about McDonald's, listened to a program on Radio 4 about the reunion, I think it's called. He represented the people who took on McDonald's in a libel case, and he won for them. And I thought, this is an intelligent man who's got a legal mind. He's a clever man. He could be good for this country. And then the next program, which was Desert Island Discs or something, he was talking about how on a Friday he focuses on his veganism and all the rest of it. I don't like all this woke. June, what do you think about wokeism?
No, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a free country. You can say what you like, you can think what you like, and you can do what you like, as long as it's within the law. But the country now is that they're trying to close people up too much for what they want to say. And I'm going back to the wars where people lost their lives, 18-year-olds lost their lives for free.
I totally agree with you, June. We agree on most things.
Yeah.
It's just, we have different paths to get there. And I think that it's part of the importance of a conversation.
Yeah.
We can actually...
It's free speech.
The woke and the veganism, there is no problem with people being vegan. If you wish to be vegan, good for you.
Yeah.
Just don't force it down my throat. I like to eat meat. I like venison. I like grouse. I like pheasant. You'll be appalled, all you vegan people out there.
But that's your choice.
But that's my choice. I grew up in a rural background, and I wish to eat that. You like to eat?
I like.
Yes, we don't. But we don't. If you want to eat lentils, good for you. Go and enjoy your lentils. You can make wonderful dishes with lentils. But I don't need this Jack Monroe woman. I'm sorry, Jack Monroe, who is LGBTQ plus XYZ. I don't need these people in my life. And how dare she attack Jamie Oliver, pompous, stupid woman. And I campaigned against her with Jamie Oliver long ago, because he offered to help people create meals for affordable prices. And she said, well, you should just live off tinned spaghetti, and you should drain it and then pretend it's pasta. That's the kind of lunacy that this freak comes out with.
Obviously, she ain't got a family then.
No, she's got a child.
Yeah, that's why.
But she's not a she.
No.
She's of gender unknown.
Oh,
we don't like gender on. If you can be whatever you want. There's a woman down here. Sorry, she's not a woman. She told me off. She's actually a dragon.
Yeah.
And that's utterly mad.
Yeah.
I said to her, because she insisted I call it it. I said, a dragon must be either male or female because how could it breed? It can't exist without this.
Exactly. Yeah.
So no, we don't approve of this.
I think you're born a woman, you're a woman. If you're born a man, you're a man. I'm the old school.
Yes. What do you think of J.K. Rowling? They tried to cancel J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
We say cheers to J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, you're the best.
Yeah.
And the restaurant Il Porticchio in Kensington, how dare they all turn up there and protest against that lovely restaurant? We support Il Porticchio because, frankly, they did nothing wrong by hosting a dinner for J.K. Rowling's charity.
Exactly.
And these revolting, stupid, woke people, they should stop laying down in the roads and being a pain. And the Just Stop Oil people, seriously, I would send in the water cannon. What would you do, Jude?
That's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do.
We're not very tolerant of nonsense.
No.
There is no need to disrupt people's lives, especially stopping ambulances.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And people going to funerals, people going to hospital appointments. It's terrible.
No, but you're not allowed to say these
What
things.
other country will put up with that? It's only this soft country that will put up with it, isn't it?
Well, I think we've allowed it to go too far.
Yeah.
And that is where we agree.
Yeah.
So here we are. We've come from very differing political perspectives, and you're starting to see, and in our next episodes, we'll explore this in greater depth. Today is just an introduction. But honestly, people from differing perspectives can actually get on and can agree. So we'll move along to our next topic, which is the monarchy. Let's talk about.
I think we both love the monarchy, don't we?
We both love the monarchy.
Yeah.
We don't love Meghan.
Yeah.
And in fact, in our introduction, I should have said we don't love Meghan.
Yeah.
Neither of us like Meghan Markle or the drip, as I call him, Prince Harry. I don't know. How do you feel about Prince Harry?
Well, I think it's the anniversary of the Queen's death today, isn't it?
I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
But
it's the anniversary of the Queen's death today.
Well,
yeah.
Well, her grandson is here today.
Exactly, yeah.
And he is not honouring that. He's going off to speak at the Well Child Awards.
Yeah, yeah.
Which sounds like another load of drivel that, frankly, should be ignored.
Yeah.
He can't even be bothered to go and see his own father. Shame on him. He's a total drip, and he's totally dreadful.
I think personally, though, I think he's trying to get back into the royal family.
But you do? Why?
Because I think that he looks lost at the moment.
Well, if you were with Meghan and Doria, wouldn't you look a bit lost?
It. But I think because he's got children, I think he'd love to get back into the royal family.
But if he leaves her, he will lose his children.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's it.
That is the problem.
He's in a dilemma, isn't he?
And
Meghan don't want to come back to it because she does want to curtsy to Kate, does she?
Well, I don't know if it's about curtsying to Kate, but Meghan. I think Meghan has another agenda.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the website she's registered, they are websites about politics.
Yeah.
So it's Meghan Markle's
2028. Well, they're talking about getting the White House, isn't she?
You know, she thinks that this woman actually thinks that she's going to go from slag bag actress to being
the White House. That's what
the White House. You know, she doesn't understand rights or responsibilities.
Who had heard of her? She hadn't married Harry. I never heard of her.
Well, I've never heard of her, and I never watched this. But I don't watch this kind of drivel.
No, I don't either. No, I've never heard of her. No.
You know, terrible.
But
terrible.
I personally, do feel sorry for Harry because I think he's a very unhappy man.
You're more charitable than I am.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I actually prefer Samantha, her sister, who speaks out and tells the truth about how she betrayed her father.
Yeah.
And what a dreadful woman that she treats all these people so badly.
Well, he's only just recovered from a stroke, isn't he? And she never got in touch with him.
Couldn't be bothered to support her own father.
Yeah.
Absolutely appalling woman.
I do feel sorry for Harry in a roundabout way because you think Prince Philip said to him, "You go out with actresses, you don't marry them."
Well, the proof is in the pudding. You know, it has ended up with a disaster area in Montecito.
Yeah.
And the people I know who live in Montecito said their quiet community has been ruined by this wicked woman.
Yeah.
And mendacious Meg, we don't even know how old she really is.
No.
And we don't know about what her mother's disappearance for a few years.
Yeah. And all of a sudden she shows up.
And how many times has Meghan been married? And the ultimate revenge comes from her ex-husband, Trevor.
Yeah.
And Trevor has now married someone worth 250 million.
Yeah.
So good for Trevor. We say cheers to Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor is our friend. We like Trevor. We don't know you, but hello, Trevor.
But you think it's history repeating itself, really?
It is. It's just like the Wallace Simpson.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, he ended up a very unhappy man, didn't he?
And we're getting a lot of cheers to Trevor. It seems that the public love Trevor. Trevor, we've got a Trevor in the room. He's loved as well. We love him also. We love people called Trevor. So
thank you very much.
There we go. He's interjected, and he's not meant to interject. We did give warnings. There'll be fines for that. But
I'm part of the live audience.
Oh, he's part of the live audience. Yes, they're going. You're hoping Lena. Lena is the lady who sent all the lovely socks.
Oh right.
Lena hopes everyone boos Boris. Not Boris.
Not Boris.
Harry at the Invictus Games.
Yeah.
So,
But he has got booed, hasn't he?
big up, Trevor.
Yeah.
He is a big lad.
There we go. So,
I mean, going back to Harry when he was on about he didn't get no.
Klaus Schwab, which is obviously someone using a fake name, is if you do get married, make sure it's to a multimillionaire. Well, I think we should all remember the incident with Debbie McGee.
Yeah.
When dear old Debbie, dumb-witted Debbie, the woman who flogs kitchen doors, she's completely thick in the head and completely moronic. She was asked by Caroline Aherne as Mrs. Merton, what was it that first attracted you to the multimillionaire, Paul Daniels?
Yeah.
And she didn't even get it.
Yeah.
Silly woman.
Yeah.
And that is exactly the same thing with Prince Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
Meghan would not have married Prince Harry if he'd been the dustbin man, would he? The refuse collector, the janitor, or the cleaner, or something. She only went for him because he was rich.
Yeah.
And that silly friend of hers, who's no longer a friend, who continually moans on GB News about this, and that's a channel I love.
Yeah.
You love.
I love that channel. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't agree on GB News, but
I think GB News is the only news that tells the truth.
I think GB News tells a lot of lies. Dan Wootton, a man who was stands accused of all sorts of things, is still there. He should have been closed down and put under investigation. So there we go. There's an example of GB News telling lies.
But he's only one.
Oh, he's only one.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But I think GB News tells you how it is. You get the BBC, they're always talking about the bad things.
Yes. Gore blimey news. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I know. I like GB News.
I don't like it. My friend Christine Hamilton is on it. She's a lovely lady in her own way. She gave a speech at my 21st birthday party because I didn't have my parents there, either of them. And we had a bit of fun with Neil and Christine.
Nice. Yeah.
But she's one of their stars.
Yeah.
They have other people who I don't mind, but they have Nigel Farage, as in Garage.
Well, I like now.
Who you like, and we don't agree on that.
Yeah.
No. So what do you think about Farage?
I like Nigel.
Yes, and is Farage as in Garage?
No, yeah.
It's not Farage.
Yeah.
We've been corrected by a local lady who knew his father. He ran a garage, so he is Farage as in Garage.
I like Nigel though. It's a shame that he's not in politics now, because I think.
Well, he's getting more political about banking.
I know. But
he's moved on because Donald Trump doesn't want any more to do with him because Donald Trump's got his own problem.
Trump's got his own problem.
So what do you think of Donald Trump? Do you like or loathe Donald Trump?
Well, if I was American, I would go for Donald Trump more than Sleepy Joe.
Well, I don't like either of them.
No.
But I think Americans have
that's what I would do.
I think Americans have got an unfair situation.
Yeah.
I think it's terribly unfair.
I mean, who would go for Sleepy Joe? Why did he get in there?
But as for the Indian gentleman who wants to stand, he's funded by one of Jeffrey Epstein's backers.
I know.
And that is utterly shameful as well.
Yeah.
So America deserves better. Yeah. But equally, Britain deserves better, I say. I say we deserve better than Dishy Rishi, who just cares about the billionaires. And, he'll go off to California. He'll go off to California,
and Starmer.
And Starmer, who cares about veganism and woke people in Islington.
Yeah.
But he happily goes off to the race courses, taking hospitality from the race course industry, the horse racing industry. Now, all you woke people, you might not like that, but I love horse racing.
Well,
do you like horse racing, Drew?
I don't understand it.
You don't understand it?
You'll have to show me a few.
Well, we'll go on a race day and we'll do a video from the races.
Yeah. But saying the news, why haven't they said about the Birmingham going bankrupt?
Yes, Birmingham has gone bankrupt.
Yeah, that's a Labour.
Another Labour council that's utterly useless.
Yeah.
Shame on the Labour Party.
Exactly.
They're useless. Labour can't manage money. They've never been able to. And my mother will no doubt shoot me down in flames because she's a proper old socialist. But she doesn't like the Labour Party as it stands either.
Like me.
but we don't like the dreaded Keir Starmer because he's just pathetic. This man who goes on about veganism, it's pathetic, and he employs the likes of this Angela Rayner.
Yeah.
Come on, could you not get someone who can actually speak?
Yeah.
She's utterly useless.
Yeah.
She's totally utterly inept.
Yeah.
We don't
in all the Labour government, who do we know? Don't know hardly any of them, do we?
Oh, well, they're just boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Drivel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they.
A diet of detritus.
They wouldn't speak up, would they?
No, they don't even know how to speak.
But why hasn't Starmer said something about this Birmingham going bankrupt?
Because Starmer doesn't want to talk about things that are inconvenient.
Exactly.
But equally, Dishy Rishi doesn't want to talk about the concrete.
But no, I agree with you there.
So, they're always
I
bad
don't
as
like
one another.
Dishy. Bring back Boris, that's why.
You want to bring back Boris?
Boris,
Well,
yeah.
I want to bring back Rory Stewart. I like Rory Stewart.
Right.
I liked him.
See, I
thought he
like
was
Maggie Thatcher, I did.
Well, of course, I loved her.
Yeah,
She was a
yeah.
delightful, wonderful lady, and I had quite a few whiskies with her, and quite a few gin and tonics with Dennis.
See, that's how I compare Boris to her.
Yeah. Well, they were proper politicians, and I used to work for William Hague.
Yeah.
And William Hague, like him all over him, was actually a great mind.
Yeah.
And I used to work for Ken Clark.
Yeah.
Another great mind.
Yeah.
They were proper politicians.
But where are all these proper politicians gone?
Where are our proper politicians?
Yeah.
Hello from San Francisco. Well, you have a mayor there. Well, you had a former mayor who is now your governor, Gavin Newsom, and I know Gavin very well. And he is actually somebody who does some good for the world, I think, in many ways. But California is collapsing at the moment, so he needs to be revisited.
See, we're not the only country who's got problems, really, are we?
We're
you
not.
think a big country like America, what problems they got? I mean, their politics in America is far more important. You think, look at our politics, you think of their politics as laughable, isn't it?
It's absolutely shocking.
Could be president behind bars, couldn't he?
Trump could end up, if Trump is sent to prison, Trump can still run from prison.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then he will pardon himself. Isn't that is like completely insane?
Yeah.
A criminal can pardon himself because of their stupid constitution.
Yeah.
We don't have a written constitution here.
No. Yeah.
We can't have that happen here. If you're bankrupt, you can't be an MP in this country. So Neil Hamilton.
But that's what I love about this country. We haven't got more. We're an old country like that, really, aren't we? Compared to America, if Trump was in this country,
we're getting noise in the background. It's time to be.
If Trump was in this country, he'd be expelled straight away, wouldn't he?
Precisely, he would be sent to Siberia, where he belongs.
Yeah.
And as for his naughty children, profiteering in
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, Russia, shocking.
Yeah.
Absolutely
But that's
appalling.
like Sleepy Joe, isn't it? You talk about his son.
Yes.
He's going through a lot. Yeah.
Appalling.
Yeah.
So I think we shall move along to our next topic. I think we'll go on to murder.
Yeah.
So June, what is it about true crime?
I love true crime.
So explain why you like true crime.
I watch all true crime on the television, and I look to see they're innocent, like Jeremy Bamber. I always
we'll come to Jeremy Bamber in a moment, but which programs have you particularly enjoyed?
On Sky.
Which ones have you enjoyed recently?
All true crime I love. I've watched that Jamie Bolger, The Proper Trial, last night, and that was heartbreaking. You think what they did to that little boy, and you think the one who's been convicted is coming up for parole in a couple of weeks' time.
It's actually shocking for that poor family.
Yeah.
People who've suffered so much.
Yeah.
And then these evil people who don't have any remorse.
Yeah. I mean, that Venables, he's been in prison lots of times for different things. And now he's coming up for
He's
trial.
truly sick in the head, yes.
And that poor mother.
And he keeps getting given new identities. And he keeps
and
misbehaving.
how much is that money to the taxpayer?
And why should we keep giving rehabilitation to such a person? I met a lady who was the secretary of Lord Longford. And he
was the one who was after Maureen, wasn't he?
she said that Myra Hindley was a lovely lady.
Yeah.
But I said, you're deranged.
Yeah.
That is how
How many could you call her lovely lady?
I have a book here about Dennis Nielsen.
Yeah.
I met those people that they inherited Dennis Nielsen's entire estate. And they said, oh, Dennis was a lovely gentleman.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was on a Wednesday afternoon when he was having a gin and tonic down the pub. But then he turned into a monster in the evening when he targeted homeless people. But the reason he really got caught is nothing to do with the rent-a-kill, which is the stupid urban myth.
Yeah.
It was because an American family, he targeted this young boy, and he happened to be the son of a wealthy family, and they did not give up.
One, didn't he? Yeah.
And that was how he was brought down.
Well, it's like Stephen Port.
Yes, Stephen Port. Yes,
he picked on the wrong one with the family.
And that was a terrible story. The Grinder serial killer. Yeah. Dreadful.
I mean, how can you believe that the police didn't cotton on to the same bodies found in the same cemetery, in the same place?
Terrible. Another example of the Metropolitan Police failing at its worst. Here comes the drinks monitor. He's trying to open a bottle with his T-shirt. We love our drinks monitor. He's a lovely, generous soul, and so I hope you're all enjoying this little chat. There's 206 of you here, which doesn't mean there's actually 206 because it actually means that people come and go.
But this is my first time anyway. So.
And this is June's first time ever doing a podcast, but I think she's doing extremely well, and we're looking forward to welcoming her back again often. And I think it's great that you're all here. We're going to have some questions in due course. We're going to cover another topic. Banky Wood is enjoying both. You'd like to go, June would thank you. Klaus Schwab would like you to go to a Trump rally.
I'll be there.
Yes, she'll be there. We could be on a private jet. I will come along just to counter the points and speak with other people.
Well, I think America is Trump the only choice they got, really. And who else?
Who is the bald head? He keep popping up in the mirror. He's a lovely gentleman who is a part of the family. We love him very much, and he's very dear to us. He has a T-shirt on saying, I would like to apologize. So he does apologize in advance for his popping up. But no, we don't apologize for anything. We are not woke. We are not stupid. We enjoy the company, and we speak our minds. We love to welcome people, and we love to laugh. I think people should laugh a lot more in this world. I think people moan and groan too much. We should celebrate good people. There are lots of wonderful people in this world who deserve their voices to be heard instead of all this misery. And we like to talk about things like true crime because we enjoy watching it. And I happen to try and campaign myself to help people who I believe who have suffered injustice. And I will not stop doing that. But we should also think about celebrating people who do good things. Like, there was a young girl the other day I encountered. She was 7 years old, and she won the award at Fortnum and Mason for making honey. She made the special kind of honey, and she won an award. I thought, well, what a wonderful child. Encourage people like that. We need some good people doing good things just as much as we need all these lunatics.
I mean, it's like that little lad who lost his legs.
Yes, who went walking.
Through his parents.
Yes.
They made him lose his legs. I mean, you look how he walks now and things like that.
He's fantastic.
That's it.
When you hear a story of something good, please share it because that's what we need more of in the world. And I admire that couple who adopted him. Now they've brought him on. I mean, it's marvelous, isn't it? People like that. Well, we want more. We want to encourage more of that. So we'll do that. But now we'll go on to the next topic, which is Jeremy Bamber.
Oh, Jeremy Bamber,
So, June, what's your thoughts on Jeremy Bamber?
I've looked at a couple of programs about him, and I've always think he's innocent.
Why do you think he's innocent?
When the police went the second time, the different things they found, what they didn't find the first time. And I think his family.
Okay, so June, I'm going to go through some questions with you.
Right.
So these are the questions I regularly ask. Some questions Essex Police plainly need to answer regarding this case. So he's been in jail 36 years.
Yeah.
He is still protesting his innocence. What happened to a suicide note allegedly left by Sheila Caffell? That's the sister of Jeremy Bamber. So for those of you that don't know about this case, I suppose we should begin by saying Jeremy Bamber was convicted of the murder of 5 members of his family in 1985 at his familial home. He was adopted, and
it was his girlfriend, wasn't it? Said about it.
He went to prison on a term of life means life, which is very different to most people.
Most people, yeah.
He will never be allowed out at the rate that currently exists. He currently has his case with the Criminal Cases Review Commission, and Jeremy Bamber, I believe, is a victim of Essex Police actually manipulating evidence. I don't know if Jeremy Bamber is innocent or guilty, but I actually believe that Mr. Bamber deserves a review of his case. I have met Mr. Bamber's birth father, who believes he's guilty and doesn't want anything to do with him. He worked at Buckingham Palace, and he had an affair with somebody else who worked at Buckingham Palace, and this man does not want anything to do with his birth son. I have a friend who comes to stay and visit me here often. He went to school with Jeremy Bamber. He believes Jeremy Bamber to be innocent. And then I have another friend who June has met, who I won't name because she's not able to be. She used to share a flat with Sheila Caffell, who was also adopted by the Bamber family, and she believes Jeremy Bamber to be guilty. So I am not biased here. I have all sorts of different things, but I'm going to read you some questions, and June, you can give your opinions on the questions. Be interesting to hear what you think.
Right.
So what happened to a suicide note allegedly left by Sheila Caffell that was initially referenced by police and then disappeared? So
Why did it disappear?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Why did Sheila Caffell not have rigor mortis when officers discovered her body? Which means that this lady likely was the person to be the shooter rather than her brother.
Yeah.
Why was blood still gaping from Miss Caffell's body when it was found?
Well, again,
why?
Yeah.
Why was the Bible found by the body of Miss Caffell not used in evidence? And why was that Bible destroyed by the police?
Yeah, why?
Why are there 3 different accounts about how many bodies were discovered on the ground floor of the farmhouse? How could Jeremy Bamber be the killer if police officers repeatedly detected movement inside White House farmhouse whilst he was stood outside with them? So basically, on the eve, this man calls the police, and he goes there with them, and 2 police officers witness.
They looked somebody out the window, didn't they?
Witness movement within the windows.
Yeah.
Now they say that could be a trick of the light.
Yeah. Why that? Well, that's easy.
Sounds
get
like
out,
an easy get out.
Yeah.
Why was the silencer supposedly used in the shootings not discovered immediately when police entered the residence?
Yeah.
So this silencer subsequently was found
By
days
relatives.
later, and the relatives who stood to gain the inheritance subsequently found it. Why did scratch marks supposedly made in the kitchen of the house by that silencer not appear in the first photographs taken at the crime scene? How were they actually made in order that they appeared in later imagery?
Why? Yeah. I mean, it's all wise, isn't it?
So we go on and on.
Yeah.
This is something, I'm not saying if Jeremy Bamber is innocent or guilty, but how
I think he was just an easy subject, really.
Well, they'd also had another murder, a doctor, Dr. Jones, and she'd been murdered in the car, and they hadn't solved it. So they thought, oh, well, we'll deal with this other rich person. Rather like my friends, the Menendez people in California. So why did how could Jeremy Bamber be the killer if he made a phone call from his Goldhanger home 3.5 miles away,
Yeah.
moments after his father had called police
him.
from
Yeah.
White
Yeah.
House Farm to say that his daughter had gone berserk with a gun?
Why would the father make that phone call?
But the father knew that his daughter was
Yeah,
deranged.
exactly. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
repeatedly talked about her.
Yeah.
She'd
Yeah.
been sectioned in
Yeah, I
the
know she
past
had.
and she had
Yeah.
all sorts of issues.
Yeah.
Why did Essex police hide hundreds of thousands of pages of key documentation, including police logs and crime scene photographs, from being shared during both the 1986 trial and the 2002 appeal?
But it's got to be a little bit of corruption there, or just an easy get out.
And recently, a man a forensic scientist recreated the scene.
Yeah.
Could the Arga be responsible for the burn marks on Neville Bamber? And if so, why did Essex police move the bodies at the crime scene? He had burn marks on his back.
Yeah.
But there was no way this could have been created by the Arga. It would have been created
But they
by
reckon
the
they
gun.
move the bodies, don't they?
Why did Essex police so push the narrative of Jeremy Bamber's former lover and known thief, Julie Mugford, who now lives in Canada, by the way, given that they knew that she had sold her story for £25,000 to the now defunct News of the World, with the payment to be received only if he was a conviction. So this Julie Mugford, shame on you, Julie Mugford.
Exactly.
But I hope you're watching this, Julie Mugford. You're a piece of trash. And you should be brought to justice for what you've done. Because I think you're a liar.
Well, that's all they did on her word, wasn't it?
Sue me, Julie Mugford. I'd love you to sue me, because you won't. I know you won't, because you're a coward. You're living in Canada and you'll never come back. And finally, my final question is, why did Essex police not investigate why other relatives supported the narrative of Jeremy Bamber as killer, given those very relatives only benefited financially based on Jeremy Bamber's ultimate conviction? So there was a caravan park. There was a farm with 2,500 acres. These people got lots of money, and it was in their interest to see this poor boy sent down, and his life has been taken away. And I deal with two of these biggest supporters, and I think that this man deserves a review of his case. I also think you don't know these cases, but maybe I'll ask. Do you know the case of Omar Ben-Guit?
No. I've heard you speak about it, though.
Okay. Well, we'll deal with Omar Ben-Guit in a future episode, because the Ben-Guit family are desperate for trying to get justice. Mark Alexander. We will go down the other cases in due course. And yes, Aled Pritchard. Yes, shame on you, Julie Monkford. It's Mugford, but it's not Monkford. But there we are. There we are. So we've covered those topics. So now we would like a few of you, to ask some questions. I think it's time for your chance to ask some questions. So perhaps we could begin with some of the questions from the people in the room, but they have to ask them via the internet.
Yes, Mario.
Yes, Mario can join in now. Can we have a question from Mario? Since no, the first question is, who is June? Well, June, you have to decide who. Well, no, June is a lovely lady, and she's my friend, and I don't think you should be so presumptuous in your question. I think you should just be polite to June.
Well, I'm a proper local, born and bred in Ramsgate.
Will this be a weekly event? It could be. It will be often. We will choose when we wish to do this. What are we drinking? White wine. You would like me to go deeper, June, to go deeper into Barrymore?
Oh, Barrymore.
Well, we don't like Barrymore.
I agree with you about Barrymore.
Barrymore is a very wicked.
Well, that's another one, isn't it? It's been covered up a lot.
Absolutely covered up. And the Lubbock family deserve justice.
I agree with you there. But will they ever get justice? That's what I ask.
Mario asks, who will win the Rugby World Cup? An irrelevant question.
England.
It's nothing to do with our conversation. That I don't have a clue. I don't know who's in it.
I understand rugby at all, but I know it won't be England. That's all I know.
I don't know who it will be, and I don't know.
I reckon it'll be Ireland.
So thank you for your question, Mario, and thank you for your enthusiasm. But please ask questions that are actually relevant in the future. We don't need irrelevant questions.
Bog off, Mario.
Bog off. Oh, June's done her first bog off. So we say cheers to a bog off. We will get rid of everybody who is offensive. So, right. What's June's view on the they, them naming of people? They, them, or it?
Well, I don't know. I don't think anybody should call it, should they? Or
No, but you didn't like the dragon calling itself.
no. Like I said, if you're a woman, you're a woman. If you're a man,
Yes.
you're a man.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So June
Yeah.
doesn't like that.
No.
So there we go.
I'm old school. If you're born a woman, you're a woman. If you're born a man, you're a man.
There we go. So
Yeah.
June has spoken for the nation,
Yeah.
and we agree with her
Yeah.
entirely here at the on this little channel.
How can you be in between? You can't.
You can't be a
No.
he, she, or an
No,
it.
no.
You've got to be one or the other.
Other. Yeah.
Yes, we totally agree. Next question, please. Come along with your questions. You don't like Barrymore.
No, we don't like Barrymore.
We
either.
don't like Barrymore,
Yeah.
Heidi. Yes, we think Barrymore is a wrong un. Yes, totally appalling, horrible man. And he should stop throwing himself into bins on TikTok, and he should start telling the truth.
Yeah.
If anyone who goes around throwing themselves into dustbins has got to be deranged.
Mental.
And anyone who goes
Yeah.
around with Baroness Marie-Claire von Oldensleben, a convicted racist, who I helped have convicted for her racism, rolling around on the floor with Michael Barrymore, absolutely
Yeah.
disgraceful people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Marie-Claire von Oldensleben, who wrote a book called Absolutely Everything About Everything. She knows nothing about nothing. The woman should just be thrown in a bog.
Yeah.
That's where she belongs. She's a piece of trash, and I don't know where she is now, but I hope, Marie-Claire, I hope never to see you ever again, you wicked old witch. You're a very vile, evil woman, and you're a great friend of Michael Barrymore.
Why ain't that family got justice?
Why haven't the Lubbock
Yeah.
family got justice?
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Sue Homan, who was married to Stuart Lubbock, let's think of her. Let's think of those poor two children.
Yeah.
And, the brother,
I mean, they're growing up now.
the grandfather,
Yeah.
the father is dead. He tried to campaign. He was a very courageous man, and he stood up to Barrymore.
Yeah.
And everyone said, oh, he's just being bigoted against Barrymore because of Barrymore's sexuality. I don't give a damn
It don't
about
matter,
Barrymore's
sexuality, does
sexuality.
it? No.
It's disgusting
Yeah.
that somebody got 9 people went to a house.
Yeah.
8
people
people lived.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of those people
Yeah.
was raped and murdered at that house.
Yeah.
And a pool thermometer was used and a
Yeah.
door handle.
Yeah. Door handle.
And it was disgusting what they did. And Michael Barrymore fled the scene. They called the police at 5 a.m. and 5:46 a.m. Screams were heard at 5 a.m.
Mm.
So what went on in that period? This is a disgusting
What happened to the
thing.
door handle?
And why did one of the people from that house, Michael Barrymore's ex-boyfriend, change his name? Convenient, that. And now he's a coach driver, allegedly. Don't go on a coach with him, because
Yeah.
it might be worse than going in a car with Dodi Fayed. It's not a
What
very good idea, is it?
What happened to the door handles?
Yes, the
Yeah.
agent appeared and
Yeah.
everything disappeared.
Mm.
Very odd, that.
Mm.
Precisely, Mario. If you're innocent, you don't run away.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Michael Barrymore, we would like to talk to you. Mr. Barrymore,
Never spoke about it, has he?
we'll invite you on our show.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Give
You
us your
blocked me
vote.
on Twitter
Yeah.
because you're a coward. But if you want to face me, I've met you once in a restaurant and you ran away then.
Well, he would do, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you're an
Yeah.
absolutely pathetic person.
Yeah.
What you did to that lovely wife of yours, Cheryl, she sounded
She's
like
a
a
lovely
lovely lady.
person. Yeah.
She didn't do any harm. She made you. She
Mm.
made you famous
Yeah.
because she was actually the one that worked.
Yeah.
Whilst you were just a drunk drug addict.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Barrymore.
Mm.
Go back to working in the garden centre because that's where you
Where
belong.
you belong. Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
We don't want to see you on this TikTok. And as for Holly, Wally, Golly,
Golly.
Dolly, inviting you on her program,
Oh, no.
shame on her. Holly, well done that you didn't
Yeah.
win your little
Yeah.
awards
That's
because
excellent.
you're not
They got
popular.
booed, didn't they?
Woo, boo,
Yeah.
boo,
They got booed.
boo,
Yeah.
boo hoo
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
horrible people. No, well, we're
Yeah,
doing very
yeah.
well. I think we say an almighty boo to Holly Willoughby. Holly, Wally,
Golly.
bog off.
Have you seen her on this morning? Look,
Do you think I watched this morning?
Well, I saw her.
I don't ever
Oh,
watch
she
it.
looked so uneasy.
Oh, poor old Holly.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, the violins are
yeah.
playing, love. Ah, poor old Holly. Right, next question. Do I think about Gaza giving Prince William a kiss at a homeless charity? Well, I haven't seen it.
No,
so
I haven't seen it. So
we can't possibly comment.
Yeah.
We
But
do
it
not comment on things we do
Yeah.
not know about.
But it don't surprise me.
Well, this Gaza person,
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
go off to try and meet the man down the drain when he.
Yeah, I know he did. Yeah,
And I was present
Yeah.
in part of that episode. That was a little bit weird.
Well, he's a bit weird anyway, isn't he?
Right. You say cheers to us. Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
cheers
thank
to you.
Cheers to you as well.
Holly, Wally, golly, dolly. Yes. Well, we say that. Cheers to that. We need some more questions. I thought Max would have asked a question in the background, but he hasn't bothered.
He's too busy laughing.
Where did I meet June? Well, I met June at the Magnet. The lovely Magnet. It's a part of the community. So that we love the Magnet.
Now, do you know how the magnet got its name?
I don't know. It's magnetic.
No,
Oh, here we are. June is going to correct me.
it's supposed to be like an old comic, from an old comic.
Oh, it's an old comic.
Yeah.
I don't know which comic
No,
it is.
no, I don't. No. The magnet. It's called
Oh.
Magnet. Yeah.
I can't say I've ever read it.
No, nor me. I thought it was Magnet was attracting people.
What do I think? What do we think of the Isle of Sheppey? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I've never been there.
It's not one
Very
of my,
random question,
No.
but it's really not one for me.
It's not one of my favourite places to visit.
I've never been there. Nikki, someone was impersonating. I don't know who Nikki is. I don't know how we could
How can
be.
he impersonate you?
Nick, no, someone called Nikki was being impersonated.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I look younger today. Oh,
That's because I'm by you. That's because I'm
that's
sitting
not
next to
very.
you.
No. I don't look younger.
That's because I'm sitting next to you.
You're all mad. We love you very much.
I can't read. I ain't got my glasses.
Did June like Jimmy Savile when he did Jim Will Fix
No,
It?
never liked him.
I used to love that show. We were all conned.
No, never liked
So
him.
you never liked it.
No.
So why didn't you like Jimmy Savile?
Because I
when
always
you
thought
watched?
he was creepy anyway. When you looked at him and he used to cuddle up to the youngsters, didn't like him at all.
Well, we've got 3 minutes left, so come on with your final questions. We need a few more questions, and then we'll have done an hour. This was a great little episode to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
It has been, June has got it. There you go. Right, so
Must say this is my first time and my last, most probably.
it's not your last. This is a weekly occurrence. Loving Lady June. Gaza met Prince William and kissed him. Well, we haven't seen this, so we can't possibly comment
on that. Yeah.
We haven't seen the footage, so
Yeah.
unless you can send us the footage
Yeah.
live, we can't comment. Julie has enjoyed it, but no, we need more questions from you. You've got less than 2 minutes. I will be back tonight myself to
Yeah,
talk
you're
about
right, yeah.
to talk about Chris Pincher, the horrible MP. That's my main topic tonight.
Is that the one who?
I've written about
resigned?
him. Yes.
Yeah,
What a wicked man.
I know. Yeah,
Vile and evil.
yeah.
You love it. Okay, thank you. Well, you're running out of time.
Time. Yeah.
An escaped prisoner is escaped. Yes,
Yeah,
we know
I
about that.
Yeah.
But I talked about that last night,
Yeah.
so I don't really want to talk
Yeah.
about that today. I don't see the point of talking about him until he's caught. Right, you'll rewind this show. Oh, there you are. I'm going to rewind it. What is your favourite cocktail, June?
Alcohol.
Oh,
No, that was a bit naughty in the
yeah, I
background.
know. Yeah. I'm not a cocktail person.
Oh, we're having a go at Jeremy Bamber. Why did Jeremy Bamber put the dog down? Because it wasn't his dog.
Yeah.
And he wanted to, he was
What's
obviously.
that got to do with it? Anyway?
It's just a silly question.
Yeah.
He didn't want to have to deal with all these things. He wanted to go away and get away from it. I don't think that makes him a killer.
No, of course
It's
it
a
don't.
stupid question. I realise that you obviously are trying to make Jeremy Bamber out to be some evil, murdering monster who kills animals. Because, of course, if you kill animals, therefore you're an evil person. He came from a farm. So, he didn't want, and it was an arable farm, so there weren't many animals there. It's not like it was full of dairy cattle or sheep.
No.
So please don't make points out of silliness. That's absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Does June have a pet?
No, not now.
No.
Mario.
Yeah, only Mario. Yeah.
Well, we're coming to the end of our time. Did June like Gary Glitter?
No.
No. Well, why would June like Gary Glitter? She's got a brain.
Yeah, never liked him.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If anyone looked at Gary Glitter,
No,
you'd
never
think
liked him.
bloody freak.
Yeah.
Anyway, we say thank you ever so
Thank
much.
you very much. Yeah.
We've enjoyed our chat with you all. We think you're all wonderful, and we've enjoyed our little chat with all 242 of you currently here. I'm sure that means there's rather a lot more, and we'll see how many watch this later.
Yeah.
But June will be back.
I'll be back.
And she will share views on other true crime topics on our next.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back.
Yes, she's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, yes. So we are going to say pip pip. Happy afternoon. Thank you to you all.
Have a good afternoon.
Happy afternoon and good gardening to you all, or whatever we say.
Yeah. Pip,
Take
pip.
care. Bye bye.